Once upon a time in a Kamaya city, they lived one rich businessman named Deba. Deba is a very rich billionaire in the city of Kamaya with a lot of properties to his name. Deba is into oil business. He also has other businesses aside oil business. Deba married his lovely wife Beatrice, whom he met during one of his trips. Deba and Beatrice loved themselves so much and they built their fortune together. But the only problem Deba and his wife Beatrice faced during their early marriage was child issue. But in all condition, Deba still loved Beatrice regardless of her not giving birth. The couple built a number of business, and as their business was growing, they named it Demtrice Group of Company. The Demtrice Group of Company became a global business and has a lot of companies under it. After so many years of waiting, Beatrice finally gave birth to a bouncing baby girl but died some seconds after giving birth. Deba was totally heartbroken. A moment of joy has turned to a very sad moment, he said. Deba named his daughter Nkemjika. He started having high blood pressure because of his overthinking. He always imagined how far he has gone with his late wife. Deba will always soliloquize,
God, why me? Why my happiness be cut short like this? Could have even been better if my wife didn't get pregnant and her leaving me and the born child like this. No, why am I even saying a thing like this? The one I have is greater. That's why I named her Nkemjika.
Deba raised her daughter through the help of the caretakers he employed. Nkemjika growing up became an outstanding girl in all aspect. She always come first in her class every academic session. Deba is always proud of her daughter whenever the teachers from Nkemjika's school tell him about her daughter's performance in class. But gradually, the departure of her late wife still baffles Deba. Nkemjika took her performance to the secondary level and became the trending girl in the whole school. Everyone in the school knows Nkemjika as a very intelligent girl. No one competes with her. Nkemjika passed her secondary exams and her father's company Demtrice Group gave her scholarship to one of the best university in town, admission to university. Her father wanted her to succeed him as the chairman of the company. Nkemjika got admission into the university to study business administration and she was fully sponsored by her father's company. Nkemjika got to the university and became so popular as one of the brightest and richest student in the school. She always attend lectures with different exotic cars. In the university, Nkemjika came across Kemi, who happens to be in the same faculty but different department. Kemi is a second-year student of History and International Relations Department in the same university with Nkemjika. As a fresher in the school, Nkemjika didn't know that Kemi is a very greedy and jealous girl. Kemi, noticing that Nkemjika is a novice in the college, started extorting things from Nkemjika, but Nkemjika never worried about it as it wasn't anything to her. Just few months after Nkemjika got admission to the university, Deba, the father and chairman of Demtrice Group of Company, became so sick due to overthinking and died. But before he died, Deba called his private lawyer, Barrister Odin. My good friend Odin, you know how tragedy came to my life, and ever since then, I have not been the same as I was before the incident. My joy was cut short. And I know very well that a day like this, which I will be very close to my grave, will come. So I called you to hand over this my will to you. I have signed it, and this is how I want my properties to be handled when I finally die. You know I don't have any male child to take over my properties, but I have my lovely daughter Nkemjika. I called you because I have willed all my properties, both the landed properties and cash, to any male child that my daughter will give birth to. I am doing this because I know she's just a female. Any man can come to her life and deceive her in the name of marriage and take away 70% of this properties if I will it to her. I believe strongly that she will give birth to a male child. So all my properties should go to any male child my daughter gives birth to. But Nkemjika should be the controller of all my companies now. Barrister Odin, thank you, sir, I have held you vividly. I must make sure your will is delivered as you wished. This was the will Deba wrote before his death. Nkemjika felt so lonely when her father died. After the burial, she went back to school. Kemi, noticing that Nkemjika will be the next chairman of Demtrice group of company, planned with her boyfriend named Tonny to love scam Nkemjika so that they can get a percentage cut from Demtrice company. Temi to her boyfriend Tonny.
Tonny, I want us to plan out something that will benefit us in few years. My good friend Nkemjika is a very rich girl from a wealthy family, of which you must have noticed that from her luxurious lifestyle. I have a plan of which you will be the major character for us to make ourselves rich and enjoy this our relationship. Tonny, hope you are listening.
Yes, I'm listening, babe.
I want you to act as if you love Nkemjika. I will persuade her to accept you as her lover. You will keep on telling her about marriage, of which I will also convince her to act fast to your marriage proposal. When both of you finally get married legally, please don't impregnate her. Always look for a reason to avoid her sexually. This should be a secret between you and I. After some months to 1 year, you will file for divorce with her, and you know what that means.
Can this plan work? This is going to be a very risky stuff, you know?
Yes, it's going to be a risky stuff if you act like a novice. I brought this plan because I know who my friend Nkemjika is. She's just academically sound, but I don't think she knows anything about relationship. This is going to be her first relationship experience, and I know she must play along as far as I'm at her corner convince her.
Tonny to Temi.
You know we are still young to carry out this kind of long-time plan.
Tonny, you have to man up. This is a big opportunity for us to get rich throughout our lifetime. The deal is just for you to love scam her, so you can take share from her father's company. That's all. Tonny, if you through love me and have a better plan for our future, this should be the perfect plan. Just get married to her, and break up after some months, that's all. Just remember, you are not going to have a baby with her. You will only have a child with me when we finally marry.
Alright, is fine, I will do it.
Tonny agreed, and they finalized their plans that day. The next day in school, when Nkemjika was relaxing in the school love garden with her friend Temi, Tonny came in as a stranger. Tonny proposed love to Nkemjika and asked her out for a date. Temi, who already knew their plans, was already persuading Nkemjika to accept Tonny, telling Nkemjika how good Tonny is in the campus before she came. Nkemjika didn't hesitate to accept Tonny since her friend has talked enough about him, but didn't know that all the things Temi said were lies just to convince her. Nkemjika started taking care of Tonny, her new boyfriend. Tonny will demand heaven on earth from Nkemjika, and she will provide it. Temi and Tonny always mock and laugh Nkemjika at her back. Not so long after Tonny and Nkemjika started dating, Tonny proposed to her, and with the help of Temi, Nkemjika accepted. Temi was so happy that the plan is working out perfectly. After the marriage proposal, Tonny took Nkemjika to meet his parents. Everything looked real to Nkemjika, but all was just a trick from Tonny. The marriage date was fixed, and Tonny shifted all the expenses to Nkemjika, claiming that she's capable of it. Nkemjika, out of love, sponsored the wedding. Nkemjika informed her uncle and aunts, who were all happy for her. Tonny and Nkemjika got married in a grand style. Their wedding was a top-notch wedding. Nkemjika appointed Temi as her chief bridesmaid without knowing that she is her #1 enemy. After the wedding, Tonny was not showing interest in having intimacy with Nkemjika, and when she initiated, Tonny will still reject it. Tonny will always give unnecessary reasons as why he doesn't want to sleep with her Nkemjika. Nkemjika became so worried and decided to complain to her friend Temi. Temi, I think something is wrong with Tonny. Ever since we married, Tonny hasn't touched me for once. Touch you as how? Temi asked her. I mean, like have sex with me for once. Does that mean Tonny don't want to have children with me or what? Must it be that Tonny is cheating on me or what? It's still early for this. I feel devastated right now. Temi consoling her, just give him time, maybe he is shy or something like that. But inside her, she knows what's going on. After 6 months of the marriage between Tonny and Nkemjika, Nkemjika reached out to Tonny's parents and her own uncle complaining about Tonny distancing himself from her and not playing have children with her. When calls started coming to Tonny from both families, Temi told Tonny to lie against Nkemjika and quit the marriage immediately before external forces will come in. Look Tonny, you can't have a child together with Nkemjika because that will ruin all our plan. We've gone so far to lose out of this plan. Tonny replying and playing along the game, I know my love, but what's your suggestion? Temi with anxiety on her face, my suggestion is that you quit the marriage immediately. You have to file for divorce immediately and your reason should be that she's a chronic cheat and doesn't respect you because of you both's financial background. You know the plan is about this divorce and taking away some shares from her late parents' properties. Alright baby, I will act as you've said. Tonny concluded. Tonny returned that same day and made his intention known to Nkemjika that his quitting the marriage and Nkemjika was so bitter. Nkemjika could not believe what Tonny told her. Nkemjika begging Tonny, what have I done wrong Tonny? You just deceived me or what? What's your reasons for the divorce? Nkemjika crying uncontrollably. But Tonny insists on his decision. You will know my reasons when we get to court. Nkemjika could not sleep that night. When Tonny's parent called him about the case, he lied to them that Nkemjika is a chronic cheat and discriminates him any slight moment because of his poor background. After 1 week, Tonny and Nkemjika finally divorced and half of Demtri's properties was given to Tonny. Tonny and Temi was very happy about the huge properties worth billions they collected from Nkemjika as a result of the divorce. Not so long after Tonny divorced Nkemjika, he got married to his longtime secret girlfriend Temi. Tonny and Temi started traveling to different countries enjoying the wealth while Nkemjika was in so much pain. When Nkemjika heard that Tonny later married her best friend Temi, she felt betrayed. She didn't believe her own best friend whom she trusted could betray her. The next year, Nkemjika graduated from university. On the day of her graduation, she met a handsome man named Bola. At first Nkemjika didn't notice Bola because she wasn't ready to give room to any talk that will lead to any relationship again, but Bola kept on disturbing her and she finally gave up. Bola and Nkemjika became friends and along the line Bola expressed his feelings to Nkemjika but she didn't accept immediately. Bola's treatment towards her was quite different what she experienced from Tonny who deceived her. After some time, Nkemjika accepted Bola and they started dating. After 5 months of dating, Nkemjika decided to tie the knot with Bola. They both love each other so much as Bola happens to be the perfect match for Nkemjika. After 1 year of their marriage, Nkemjika gave birth to a set of twins, 1 boy and 1 girl. She named both of them after her late parents. She named her the male child God's Will and the female child Favor. After 1 year, Barrister Odin, who is Nkemjika's father's personal lawyer, came back from overseas. Odin decided to reach out to Nkemjika to know how she is doing. When Odin finally met Nkemjika, Odin to Nkemjika, how have you been? Sorry I traveled all this while and wasn't able to reach out to you. Nkemjika to Odin, I am fine sir, but not actually fine. Ever since my parents left me have undergone several problems. I was love scammed by my own friends because I didn't know anything about relationship. My previous husband lied to me of loving me only for him to scam me and took away half of my late parents' properties after we divorced. But at least, I'm happy now that I'm finally married to the love of my life. Odin to Nkemjika, you mean you divorced with someone and the person took away some shares from Demtrice company? Nkemjika to Barrister Odin, yes sir. That was how the law backed it because we were legally married. Odin to Nkemjika, don't panic, you will recover everything and they will pay for every dime they have spent from the company. Nkemjika to Barrister Odin, how can I get the properties back? We were legally married and you know this divorce of a thing is backed up by law. Barrister Odin to Nkemjika, sorry to say this my dear. Your father handed over his signed will to me and in the document, he didn't will anything to you. Your father may have seen all this coming. He told that he wouldn't want anyone to love scam you and take away his hard-earned properties in the name of marriage and divorce. That is why he willed all his belongings to any of his male grandchild that will come from you. So as it stands now, you are not the owner of Demtrice companies and any properties attached to Demtrice company. You are only a caretaker till you give birth to a male child. Nkemjika to Barrister Odin, oh my goodness. That means my father willed all his properties to my son his grandchild. Thank God I didn't give birth for Tonny. So sir, can I recover those properties now? Barrister Odin to Nkemjika, yes of course. All you have to do now is to file a case against them for illegal control of your father's properties while I will back you up as one of your defenders with your father's documented will. Nkemjika to Barrister Odin, alright sir, I will do that immediately sir.